Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1954 Smith Corona Silent Super Vintage Portable Typewriter. I'll show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. And the margins are above that. I'm going to set this left one around 5 or 6, maybe even 7 or 8, and this right one around 74, 72. So I just want to make sure they're in between these two paper fingers that are going to be on the edge of the page. This is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. And that's a paper release. I'll show you how to use that in a little bit. But if you don't have that all the way back, it won't load correctly. So this is the paper bill. It's got 3 adjustable rollers, and that's when you know you're dealing with a luxury Smith Corona, is when it has the paper bill with 3 rollers plus the paper fingers in front to help support holding the page down so you get that really nice print. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. Hit this line space, get you back at the beginning. It skips 1, 2, or 3 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip that switch back. It skips 2, 1 more, it skips 3. That works good. We're going to keep it on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line to switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side of the keyboard here. Just move it all the way down to that red dot. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon when you have it in the middle. It doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes, and when you have it up top, it prints the top portion of the ribbon. We're going to move that down for red. Beautiful typing machine. This is very nice condition, very high quality typewriter, one of the best. And I messed up on the over. Instead of doing a space, I did an N, and that's what happens when you're doing a manual typewriter. It doesn't have autocorrect. So this is the original way of typing. To pull the page out easy, this is the paper release that I had engaged when I began. You flip that forward and it unlocks the rollers, allowing you to pull the page out easier, load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. And if you don't have that back into the default position, you won't be able to load the paper correctly like you saw what I did at the beginning. I'm gonna put this down for now. Shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. And a lot of people will comment that this isn't a very silent typewriter. It is much quieter than your average typewriter, but it's not silent. It's just a brand. It's a marketing branding thing. And this is the highest upgrade you can get on this model. It goes from Clipper to Sterling to Silent, and then Silent Super is the top of the line. Very nice, well designed typewriter. Really nice for daily use. I would use this daily if I was a typer, just because it's reliable, it feels good, and it's a high quality typewriter. Backspace on the left side of the keyboard works good. Tab on the right side. Right now we should have every 10 increments there's a tab, so I'm just going to go ahead and clear those. So hit that CL button on the right next to it every time you get to the tab that you want to clear. So now we shouldn't have any, and we're going to set one in the middle. I like to set one on all my typewriters somewhere in the middle, just so, by the way, it's that set button right there. Just so when you hit that tab button, it doesn't go slamming all the way to the end, causing wear and tear on your typewriter. I'm going to move the color back up to print black, so the next time I type, it's not red, it's black. And the hood opens from the front there. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left, so it's pulling to the right. You want to switch that direction. Right above the backspace here, you flip that switch up, it'll pull counterclockwise to the left. So we're going to push that down to pull to the right, and that's the direction we want. And here is your touch control. Right now we have it all the way on high, but if you want a lower touch control and move it to the right, there's an L with numbers there to tell you exactly how high you are on it. The lower the touch control you're on, the less hard you have to hit the keys. The higher you are, you have to hit the keys a little bit harder for them to print, but they respond faster. I like mine on low. On the right side of the keyboard is the carriage release. There's 2 carriage release, one on each side, and this is the carriage lock in the front here. You lift it up and it'll release the carriage and then lock it in the middle, so when you have it in the case, It doesn't bang around causing damage. It also protects your escapement, which is the mechanism that allows the typewriter to advance when you hit the keys. And this is unlocked by just moving the carriage to the right. And this is the carriage release on the left. Very, very smooth, very nice typewriter. I keep saying that. One of my favorites. And if you pull out this little knob here, it disables the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You push it in, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is one space. Same concept with this lever on the inside here. You push it down, it disables the spacing. Push it up, you get the clicks. And on the inside of the platen there is the page gauge. So you got one side that says end and one side that says set, and it has numbers. So on the right, you want to set it right there. If you want just right below the 11, if you just want the a typical page. And then when you start getting towards the end of the page, you'll see on the left where you got 2 inches left to the bottom, to the end of the bottom, and then you got 1 inch, and then that's the end there. So that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.